Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Mr. Relevant Plays. I'm your host, Mr. Relevant. Been talking about doing a video on the legendary Daredex, and here we are. Wanted to do one for a while, actually. And of course, if I'm going to do a Daredex video, I gotta go with the classic Roman Star Empire logo. Alright? So, what is it about this ship, and why am I making a video about it? Well, that's why I'm making a video about it. Let's talk about it. Go ahead. Turned HUD back on. So, this is the legendary Daredex. I am going with the classic, lore accurate disruptor beam build, because they use disruptors in the show, and only the Roman Republic uses plasma. Fun fact. I do have a console on here that shoots plasma torps because they still use plasma torps, so I'm still keeping in with that whole stuff. I do have my standard build on here, like I do with practically everything. Got my standard consoles that I run with everything, and one thing I can say is the legendary Daredex I have always enjoyed flying. Even the regular Daredex, the one that they released years ago, I flew a lot. Even though Romulan ships are basically inherently made of paper. There it is. The first tier 6 Daredex in the game. And I flew it. I love the Daredex. The Daredex is like my favorite Romulan ship. Can't count the Scimitar, because Scimitar is Riemann. But yeah, no, the Daredex was my favorite Romulan ship, next to the Mogai. The Romulan warbird Valdur, as it was introduced in the movie, Nemesis. But this is the legendary Daredex. Now let's go ahead and talk about the legendary Daredex and what makes this ship so good. Starters, its mastery does have reduced cooldown singularity cores, just like all Romulan ships. It does have a lot of survivability stuff on there to give you that little bit of extra tankiness so then you don't explode the moment you enter combat. But this is a Miracle Worker temporal ship, so you have a lot to play with. Granted, I'm not using any temporal abilities, which I totally should, and I'm only using one Miracle Worker ability, which I definitely should use more of, since they, proc special traits that I love using, as you all know. They're using the same traits that I normally run, so that isn't any different. But with it being a Miracle Worker primary, temporal, secondary, the ship has a lot to play with. Me personally, I think making this ship having a temporal secondary seating doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but who cares? Temporal bridge abilities are great. I would have gone with like Intel or even Command, in my personal opinion. Miracle Worker primary is totally fine, only because, I mean, this was the flagship of the Romulan Star Empire. Not very many ships who fought this thing came back alive. This thing is a monster. Like, you see one of these, there's probably one or two more close by, and you just can't see it because Romulan cloaking technology is insane. So, how does the ship perform? Well, it performs, I want to say performs slightly better than the other Daredex, I think, if I remember correctly. Turn base of 5. I put this, put them side to side, and I might have to get the fleet version, possibly. Really. Alright, let's take a look, see. Okay, yep, nope, the legendary has a better turn base of just 1. And then the shield modifier is also slightly better. Let me see. Also has higher hull. Okay. So I might have to look at the fleet version of it just to double check and make sure. But in terms of turn rate, it isn't the greatest. I mean, the Scimitar has more and it's a bigger vessel. Shield modifier is 1.15, just like the Scimitar. It doesn't have a hangar bay, but then again, the ship doesn't really need a hangar bay. It doesn't make sense to have a hangar bay. But yeah, maneuverability, it's not the greatest, but it is good enough to where it doesn't make the ship like a drag to fly around in. It does have battle cloak, so you can cloak at any point in time, fire torpedoes while cloaked. You can, cloak during combat, which is fantastic. Console layout, if you are not doing the universal console spam, 5 engineering, 3 science, 3 tactical, and then if you X2 it, 3 universal, which is huge. Yeah, as for the performance of the ship, I personally love this thing. Even with the setup that I currently have, I still love it. Like, even though the ship is pretty squishy, I still enjoyed it, flying it, even though it's blowing up all the time. Like I said, I love this ship. I think it is a great ship. I have no issues with how slow it is. I think it flies just fine. It's a big, bulky ship, so yeah, it should kind of feel that way, shouldn't it? So I'm gonna go ahead and get us some TFOs, see how this ship performs. Hopefully, we can get one quick. It's a quick run. With my current setup, as y'all know, that I do like to use a lot. Basically, just copy paste on almost everything, because I find a build that works and that I like it. Same thing with the Scimitar. It actually helps keep these ships alive. The ship does have a weakness, just like all Romulan ships, where because of Singularity Core, you don't have as much power to play with like you would with before. But you also get some added abilities. So I will see y'all in a minute once the TFO pops. Alright, I've honestly been sitting here for like 10-20 minutes. I haven't gotten the queue pop, probably because of the time of day and the fact that the server was doing a quick update. One thing I noticed this morning is that this bundle just randomly disappeared, and that's probably why that they did that. But anyway, the Legendary Daredevil is a fantastic ship. The way the bridge officer layout is set, with having a lieutenant and ensign universal slot, and then a dedicated lieutenant commander, temporal tactical with a commander, brick worker engineer, and then the lieutenant commander science. So you have a lot of wiggle room to do. I have flown this ship many times. Maybe y'all have seen me doing randoms a while back with this ship. I plan on doing a few today just because the Daredevil in a minute. And I love the Daredevil. And the best part is, it can be kit bashed pretty nicely. I do have to say. So you got the Daredevil Unity, the regular Daredevil, the Daredevil Republic, which I mean all of them are literally exactly the same with just different hulls. Besides the Daredevil, you have the Tier 6 version that they released. You got the Tier, I think this one's like Tier 4. And then, or maybe that one's the Tier 5. Remember, this one's really cool. I do like this design. It kind of has like a TOS, TMP in between there to now kind of feel too flat from time to time. Not sure what this is about, but not bad. Yeah, you can kit bash this thing. I think there's like one more variant of this that you can kit bash it with. I could be completely wrong. In terms of its console layout, bridge officer layout, how the ship actually maneuvers, it is a pretty good ship, I do have to say. So if y'all love the Romulans, or the Romulan Star Empire just for roleplay purposes, or even enjoy playing as a Romulan Republic character, this is a great ship to add to your arsenal. Flies well, handles well, and I can do it. Anyway, y'all, this is another review of a ship that can be acquired on the Zen store. It is a good one. Sadly, it's tier 5 trait's kind of lackluster. It is from other different ships. Well, it's a legendary trait. Has potential, but you'd have to play with it to figure out if there's any like good combinations or something. Legendary trait is rapid emitting emitters. Whenever you activate a tractor beam, you just launch plasma torps at your target, up to 3, it looks like. Dealing a good chunk of plasma damage for sure. No, kinetic damage and a plasma damage DOT. So you could actually do a lot with this trait, which I actually might play with just to see how well it goes. Stay tuned for seeing me randomly appear with legendary Daedara decks and elite random DFOs. Anyway, you all have a fantastic day. God bless, and I will see you all next time. Then stay tuned. It's pretty soon. I'll be doing a new series. Anyway, God bless. Bye-bye.